Welcome back. We are here. We're going to start with Tillamook today, and this is going to be a long video. And y'all like, girl, all your videos are long. I know. I'm going to try and be quick though, because my goal is to use all three of those palettes again. The Natasha Denona, I Need a Warm, the MAC Pride palette. I think I might do the MAC Pride one separate, because I think to finish the entire palette, I'm going to have to do at least maybe, I don't know, 3-4 more looks, maybe. And then we're also going to use the last 3 shades and plus add to it from this palette of the Madame Violet palette from Notoriously Morbid. And I admit that I was surprised that it is a purple palette, because when their palettes look monochromatic, they're not because of the shifts, but that one really kind of is so far. So I'm like, that was interesting. So on the face today right now, we have one that, y'all, my foundation is down to here. Y'all see this line? I'm just like, what the heck? So we have on a Fenty primer and a Fenty foundation. We have on the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place. No, Estee Lauder Double Wear, yeah, Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer. Here, right here, and in this area. And we set that with Fashion Fair Powder Truly Tawny, which is almost up already. Like, what? All of these are compliments of Gel Beauty 87, aka Grace. We used the Sigma bronzer in dark, and then we also used, this was free gift for purchase. This is the bronzer in dark. We used the blush. This is, excuse me for the glare, this is Bronze Star, and the highlighter, which which is Golden Hour. Sometimes I hear myself the way I say things, and I'm like, who are you and where are you from? Lower lash line, upper and lower rims, because I messed up. This is Sick Tap Bro, because I meant to put a copper underneath, and then I still picked up the wrong one. This one is Nudge Nudge Ink Ink, so we topped the brown with that one. Of course, Fenty Brow Pencil. What else did we do? That is everything on the face, and you saw me apply Tillamook. So we have 10 shades to use in this palette. I am holding it upside down. So we're going to do 5 on one eye, 5 on the other. So this will be look number 2. I'm going to try and remember that this is look number 2, because I have a habit of starting over here. So look number 2, look number 3, and then we can say we've run through this entire palette. I'm not going to hold it up each time because it is 10 shades. And so I just want to get through it. Maybe I'll do a pinned comment, or, I mean, I don't know what we're going to do, but that's what we're going to do. So right now we're going to prime the eye, and I'm going to edit that part out. When we come back, we're going to jump. Oh, I dropped my eyeshadow primer in the palette because the palette's open, and I have a minor gouge right here where it hit, but it's okay. Natasha's sturdy. I am a fan. Brushes that we're going to use today, we're going to use Esom number T37 for our inner corner shade. For the center shade, is that the center? I think so. Are the V27s, and I do have links for the brushes below. It is affiliated if you're interested. Hourglass number 6 for our outer corner, and we're going to use Scott Barnes number 62 for our transition, because these are more tapered than the Hourglass brushes, and I do just want to get a thinner line. For our lower lash line, we're going to use the Fenty number 220. I have links for all of these brands down below if you're interested, and also the products. Excuse me, I have links for that below. So we're going to prime the lid, and then we're going to come back, and jump into these looks. I am going to show you the colors. I'm going to just hold the palette. I pulled out Fortune Melt Cosmetics Gel Eyeliner for upper lash line, because it's green, just to have some type of other color. I do think both eyes are going to look similar because of the shades we're using. And so for right now, we're going to take this shade here for look number 2, which is going to be on this side. I am missing not having a ring light in the back, and so if it seems a little more dim, that is why. I am liking having that back there just so you don't see the squares in the screen. So I think that might be what I'll do. I might get a black draping to put there, I'm not sure yet. So this is that first shade, which is so we are kind of matching up the shades, because I just want to see like how different they are. I haven't watched many videos on this palette. I saw that Patty Alonso did one, and in her thumbnail it said, is it different enough? But I didn't watch the video yet, so we're going to see while we are here. And now we're going to take Fancy, this shade here, for look number 3, and again, just seeing how alike or dissimilar these shades are, and they are. This is more of a rosy, where this is more of a golden. and this one being this tone is sort of blending in to my complexion. I used the palette once before. You may have seen a video. It was horrible because of the lighting, but this is such an easy palette to use, just like Golden. And so I am really digging it. So I think this will be like just a quick pickup if I don't want to think about it, and I know it's going to look right. And I really do like Golden, to my surprise, and I have decided to actually keep it. So now we're going to take Push, if I can find it in the palette. Where are you? This is Push, the one I dropped my primer in, that gouged it right there. And so this is going to go, I think I need to take these colors over more because I have this for the center. Let's just go ahead and see what happens. And so we are, and I'm thinking I could use an Hourglass number 3 for these shades because they're not chunky, even though some of them are shimmer or metallic. They're not flaky. And they are very easy to apply. Looking at this, it looks like this would be more monochromatic with Fancy over, well, yeah, with Fancy over there because of the tone of it, because this is pulling a little more of that rosy tone. But we're going to see. So we're going to overlap. That's how we're going to get our blend for this look. And want to go a little further over. I'm still trying to figure out some of the changes that's going to be happening on my channel. And I am just taking my time. I have finally like slowed down and I do feel good about it. I have behind the scenes stuff to do. But as far as videos, I think I'm going to do 3 lives last week because I want to show you what I purchased to round out the kit. And it's going to be long as hell because it's a lot of stuff. This is pretty. So we're going to, these undertones are different and I can tell because they're not really wanting to blend in together. But you know me. We're going to make it work. So we're just overlapping, bringing more of the center shade inward. So that way this will just look like an inner corner shade. That first shade that we put down. So that is there. So now we're going to go into Phenomena, which is this shade here. This is that dual chrome shade. So you see how it's green and then it's like that, whatever. So, so this one I think is definitely going to be different. This one is tapping off. It does have some chunk-to-itiveness to it. Yes, I just made up a whole word. And what I'm doing now is I'm picking it up off of the cloth that's down here. No shadow shall be left behind if possible. And so some of it flaked off. And so that's what I'm picking up with the brush off of my cloth. Now I'm back in the palette tapping. So yeah, this is very, they're neutral. This is pretty. Do you see? Oh my gosh. Ooh, that's like a wet look. Phenomena is, because I cut the back of the box, which had the shadows and the formula. Phenomena is, oh, I thought I was going to drop it. That is MC, which I do believe is a typo. I think it's supposed to be MG, which is metal gloss. And so it is supposed to look like liquid metal. And so I do think that is a typo. And the SC is the Slip Cream Matte, which Morgan Turner thinks is the new cream to powder. And I think so too, because there's no cream to powders in here, but there are creamy mattes in here. And so I do agree with her that I think the Slip Cream is going to be the new cream to powder. And so that's what the SC ones are. This is pretty, but yes, it is just blending in. And that is okay. And just like this side, we're gonna sweep back and forth lightly. Excuse me for whatever's happening in my mouth. Just to get this blend. So similar, yeah, as far as both sides, kind of there, not there, very easy. Just kind of put it on, it blends in, but then it doesn't type of thing. But very simple, very easy to use, and that's what I like about this. And it being a neutral type, we're going back to the brush for this side. For a neutral type or so-called everyday look that's going to look pretty, you know, I don't think I can go wrong with this, and I don't think you could either, because all the shadows are going to just work. So now we're going to do a fallout check. I have none. We're going to take Soft Spot. Wait a minute. Okay, I thought I got my number 2 and number 3 mixed up, but I didn't. Okay, so Soft Spot, this shade here, that's going to go over here. You know what mixed me up? Because I went back with this center shade after that one. All right, so Soft Spot, This is a creamy matte, and we're going to put this on the outer corner. And so this is just really easy. Excuse me. I can say I will be happy to be finished with, well, not finished with it, but having gone through all the shades in this palette, because I have so many MAC looks to do with that Pride palette to get through the 40 shades and the other stuff that I have coming up for the business. And so I am still trying to figure out, you know, what changes as far as content is going to be here, or if I'm going to have an additional playlist. And I'm contemplating having a higher level membership for people who want services, but they're too far for me to go to or for them to come to me. And so having a higher membership would be cheaper than seeing me in person, but it would be more than just the $2.99. You know what I mean? So if it's going to be more specialized and more personalized, you know, that is, you know, because it's part business, it will have a higher cost to it. Years ago, one of my friends, her daughter, I don't know where she found this person at, but she was charging her $65 to come to the house and do her face. And this was maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. And so with inflation, you know, easily now it might be $80 to $100 to do her face. And so if someone is wanting services and they can't get to me in person, or I can't get to them, like there's still a cost involved in that. And I'm not going to gouge at all. But so I'm just thinking of if that's something they would want. I'm going to put fillers out to see, because we know finances are kind of crazy. The economy is crazy. And so even though we may want things, when it comes to a dollar amount, it's like, yeah, I don't really want it that bad. You know what I mean? So those are things I'm thinking about, because I do want to still do what I do, and I do want to help people. But, you know, it's still a cost to it, especially if you're talking about professional services. So we'll see what happens. So I'm just sharing some thoughts with you. So, and now we're going to take Pep with this, which is this shade here. This was Soft Spot, this is Pep. So these are clearly going to be two different looks. This one is a deeper shade, and I thought that I had used this before, but apparently I didn't, because I did sit down and write out the ones I needed to still use, and this was one of them. And I do, wow, that's nice. And this is the deepest shade in the palette. And I do like that is there. If someone doesn't want to use it on their lid, wow, that's nice. You know, you can use it for their upper lash line as a liner, because I know everyone is not comfortable using dark shades, even for outer corner, or laying it across the lid as a base and then topping it with a shimmer. That's an easy way to get a smoky look as well. And something just got in my eye. And so, are the shapes the same? Almost. I spent more time than usual on my brows today, y'all. I pulled out my tweezers again today, and I'm like, put the tweezers down, because I want to get these two more so even here, and this side had a few strays in there, and I'm not going to say I hope I don't regret it, but you know, if it, I just want to get them more the same, and I have been more aware of it since, you know, going to the classes. So I think they're actually okay. I think they're actually okay, and not international pen pals today. So yeah, y'all, this is really serious, and a lot of things have changed for me, like how I think about things and how I think about makeup, and it's been, I want to say, surprising to me in a way, because y'all know I just like to do what I do, but then as you grow and you learn new things, you know, it changes your mindset a little bit. Well, for me. And so that's where I'm at with that. Fallout check. I see, here's my powder brush. I see like 2 little flakes over here. I didn't put on the hourglass yet, and I see a flake here. I'm going to ask my neighbor if she'll let me do her face. She doesn't wear makeup at all, because that'll help me with shade matching. And so I do really want to start doing that. So now we're going to take, I'm knocking stuff over as usual, Mellow. This is Mellow. So this is going to be for number 2 over here. I'm going to use this for up here. And so we're going to tap first, just for me to see what it looks like, and hope that it's not going to be too bright for this area. And then we're going to sweep it, because it does look bright. Excuse me for, I don't know what's happening with my mouth today. Sounds like I'm like dry or dehydrated or something. I know people who every time you open their mouth you can hear it. It's like, and then they talk, and I'm like why? What is that? I think that they're dehydrated, because I hear that in myself sometimes, and I'm like, okay, I need to drink some more fluids, because there's no reason when I open my mouth you should hear it. So here everything just fades away, but then when you turn, you see the colors. Wow. And so for look number 3, we're going to take Hanker, this shade right here. Oh, wait, no, I messed up. Wait a minute. Wait. Okay, no. So this is Mellow. And now we're going to take Vim. Where is she? Vim is this one right here. So we're going to take that. That looks kind of deep to be transition. So one eye is more They're Not There, and this side is more colorful. I'm going lightly because this is a dark shade for transition. So we're just going lightly, because this could easily turn out wrong, because this is dark to put up here. And so we're just going really lightly, and that's why I use this brush, because it has the tip on it, so I can just get right under the brow. And so we're going to just leave that here. Yeah, so you see how like this blends into the lid shades. This side does the same thing. Wow, this is pretty though. This is really pretty. So for lower lash line, Snug is for look number 2, and Snug is, oh my gosh, where, I know it's in here. This is Snug, this shade right here. So that's going to go on the lower lash line over here. And this is a metallic shade. And you know what? I could be looking in the mirror in the palette. This one, I can feel it wanting to fall out or puff up into my eye. And so we're just going to put that there. And I am getting some fallout on my face, which is not a big deal, because the color of it does kind of blend in. And if it looks shiny, we can be, look at this highlight, y'all. So if you can get away with it looking like highlight, get away with it looking like highlight. Try not to be afraid or overly concerned about fallout, because sometimes it doesn't look as bad as we think it looks, and other people may not even notice, and seldom do they notice. Now we're going to take Hanker, this shade here, for lower lash line over here. And because Radiant Light adds radiance under my eye, that camouflages when I have fallout under my eyes. And so, you know, if it was really that bad, I would take, you know, just add some more foundation under there. Not concealer, because the concealer is not my complexion for under my eyes. It's perfect for here. But you saw before when I put extra concealer under my eyes, right here it works fine. But if I do under here, it makes it look more olive. But when I put more of the, when I put more of the Fenty foundation under there, it looks perfect, because that is my complexion. So this is what we have for the eye looks, y'all. So this is number 2, and we are going to do liner, and this is number 3. And what we're going to do, I am going to take, all right, I'm going to take, I picked up the wrong one. We're going to, where the hell? We're going to take Radiant Light and put all over. We're going to put on, you know what, let's use this today. The Beyond Mascara, upper and lower lashes. We're going to put on Fortune from Melt Cosmetics on our upper lash line, just to add a little bit of color. I don't know what lip we're going to do. What am I grabbing first? No, hell no, not no bright Barbie pink today. We're going to do this just for more color, and this will play off of the eyeliner, which is green. So we're going to do all of that, and then we're going to come back and we'll be done. We are back, y'all, and check out the lip. So we did put Eleanor on the lip, and then we topped it with Phenomena. Excuse me for that glare. This shade right here. So that's what, it's nice and grungy looking. So this is look number 2. And this is look number 3. Let me know what you think. Yes, they are very different, which I'm pleased about that, as you know, because we don't want all of our looks to look the same. My wings are, they're there. They're not the accidental swoosh, but they're kind of coming downward instead of straight. So, but I will keep working on that. So I am digging this. So let me know what you think down below, and hang tight. You will see me back. We're going to do Madame Violet next. Excuse me, because that's just one quick look. Excuse me, and then we'll see what we're going to do with the Pride palette. Thanks. We're going to start with Cotton Candy chapstick. I'm smiling because I got a new ring light, y'all, and it was bright. I had to turn it down because it was completely washing me out. You couldn't even see my blush. I'm digging it though. I did spend time on my brows today, getting them even here, but I just need to still work on the arches. So what's on my face right now? Of course, Fenty brow pencil, Fenty primer, Fenty foundation. I wear shade 335, Estee Lauder Stay in Place Double Wear Flawless Wear Concealer. Set the face with Fashion Fair Set It Loose Powder and Truly Tawny. Today we used Deep Level 10 House Labs and Medium Level 7 House Labs for bronzers. For blush, House Labs Lavender Blonde. Yeah, she pretty. Golden Pyrite House Labs for highlighter. We lightly sprayed the face with Scandinavia, the makeup finishing spray. This is the bridal formula. And for lower lash lines and inner rounds, it's not showing up too much on inner rounds. Matte Color Excess gel pencil eyeliner, and this is graphic content because I wanted a purple, and this is the closest that I have to a purple. So we're doing looks number 2 and number 3 with Madame Violet. The first look is going to be the 3 shades that we have not used before, which were, I'll show you when we get to it. And then we're going to mix and do look number 3 over here. So we will have ran through this palette our first pass, with this being the second and third looks, but we are going to come back to it. It's only 9 shades. All the brushes we're going to be using that I pulled out to use are Scott Barnes number 63, and I have out 4 of those, and I have out, I need to pull out another one of these. Do I? No, this is a Scott Barnes number 62. So we're going to get started. I don't know what we're going to do for lip or for eyeliner, but we're going to jump into this look. I'm going to prime my lids, and then we'll come back and get started with the shadows. I should have primed one eye at a time. We're going to take, how do you pronounce this? Phantasmagoria, this shade here. And this is going to be look number 2. These are the 3 shades we have not used yet. And this is going to go on the first half of the lid. And this is why I chose this brush, because it gets right into that corner. And then I can just pat it over. So I'm doing a pat and press, pat and press. I'm not swiping. And so I'm placing it and then pressing it in, because this will get fallout. And so sometimes it's technique, sometimes it really is the shadows, sometimes it's the brush, sometimes it's when you layer shadows, because it's not sticking to the primer. And so all of those are factors, I believe, in having fallout and or how much. If it's just a flaky shade, you're going to get fallout no matter what. And I see like a few flakes right here from when I just did this, because I'm patting on top of where it already was. We're going to go straight in, because this is also going to go on the first half of the lower lash line. And yes, I'm afraid for my eyeballs, because, well, that's pretty, because it's a mirror in the palette, but I have my label on here where the shadows are, so that's why I'm not using the mirror in the palette. So this is just going on the first half of the lid. If you are really concerned about fallout, or if you always do just get fallout, you know, just do your face makeup second. I prefer just to do my face makeup first. And we're going to take the same shade on the lower lash line all across over here. And so what I wanted to use this shade twice, just to really see like what it's going to look like. But this eye will have used every shade once. And so we will circle back, of course, to this palette. I'm still trying to decide if I really like it, because it is a purple palette. It is a monochromatic palette. And I'm still getting used to how this one, it's not like super soft, but it just flakes up. And this one right here, so part of me is deterred from using it, but I also know I just need to be careful of how I put my brush in it, you know what I'm saying? And so it's an easy fix. I just need to be in the mood for it, because if I'm not careful, you know, the shadow's gonna be everywhere. I would probably put Radiant Light under here, because this is just smearing where the fallout was over here. So now we're gonna go, ooh, I need to put something over here because this is sticking. So we're gonna come over here real quick, and we're gonna take Hive, which is this shade here on the first half of this lid. And I didn't, I wasn't thinking that I wasn't thinking to do just prime one eye at a time. And maybe this will just help me go quicker. I don't know. But we're going to see. We're going to do Pride second. I mean, a different video. Because the Natasha Denona, I Need a Warm palette, I think editing that, I think it might have been like 20 minutes. And this will probably be that length too. And so we're going to do all the Pride looks separate. And we're going to do one look each eye, one look each eye. Just to knock it out, because we got 40 shades to do, y'all. And I did write out all the looks that I plan to do with that palette. And so hopefully, a lot of them are going to be monochromatic, but hopefully the looks will come out nice. And I do like MAC's formula, so that part is not an issue at all. We're going to come back over to look number 2, and we're going to take Not Sorry, which is this shade here. And that's going to go on the second half of the lid over here. I was trying to figure out which side of the brush I needed to use, which is this side of the brush. So we're going to pat this on. And I am using this brush, this side and this side. And yeah, this is just blending in, which is okay. For those of you who like monochromatic looks, this is a great palette for you, especially if you like purple, because that's what you're going to get. And I remember initially I was saying, oh, it's not going to be that. I tap straight in, and we're going to do pointy side out because I want to get a shape right here. So we're just pressing and wiggling to try and get a shape right here, and then we're going to bring this up here. We're going to feather, and then we're going to lay it back down and place some more color here. So that's how we're going to do that. And that was an idea I had when I was taking out my brushes, like how to get this shape over here to where I want. And I haven't used this brush that way before. I always use pointy side down and just come this way. But I said, let me do it the other way just to see if it's going to give me like a sharp edge type thing. And I'm not sure if it did or not. But I tried something new, because you never know. And y'all know me, I'm always encouraging you to try new things, do something different, and just see how it turns out, because it may turn out where you like it. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that again. I'm going straight in, or it might be, no, I don't like it, but I'll tweak it. And then you might like how you tweak it and do the look that way again. Or you might not like it at all and be like, I'm never doing that again. But either way, you've learned something. We're going to turn it pointy side toward my lash. Excuse me. And we're going to just pull that out this way. This is looking really blank right here where you are. But down here, I do see shadow up here. So I'm not sure like what that's about. Why it looks blank up there. I am loving this new ring light. I did test it this morning. And I really like it. And I did order a second one. In case I end up stripping it. The other one I'm just going to use for travel. So that way if it does strip or something happens, I can still use this one that's here. Yo, I have gone through some ring lights. It is just ridiculous. But I know it's because I tighten things tight. I screw things tight. You can see the difference in the shades. Like this is more pinky and this is more whatever that is. But I'm looking at this like I'm not sure about the shape. Okay, I'm feathering to get a blend going, and it is working for me. And I'm thinking now how like in those classes they were like, you know, put down your primer or concealer and then set it, and I never set it. And I understand the concept because it'll make blending easier because you have a sheer level of powder on top of your primer. But for me, I want my lid shades to pop. I'll figure out, you know, blending as I go, which is what I'm doing now. And it is blending. So it does take time though, sometimes. And that too also depends on the brush. And so we're just pulling this out. Pointy side is in here and we're just pulling it out. And I do like that, and I do like this look. There does seem to be like a really huge gap right there. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take Hypnotist, this shade in the center, the one where the pen is not flat and it just looks janky, and even me pressing it, you see how that looks. Oh, yep, I stuck my finger on it. So we're going straight in, and this one will puff up. So we're going straight in, and it is powdery because just that little bit of tap, you see that shadow in that center shade? This shade here, I just lightly tapped, and look at all of this. Like it is, I'm tapping it over my makeup. Ooh, I tapped it over my makeup trash, and it just, so we're going to tap this up here. Yeah, this shade is very, very powdery. Not soft where it'll like end up ruined in the pan, but it's, you see all that just tapping the brush in it in that shade. Sorry for poking my eye with the brush. And so that's what kind of want it's the deterrent in a way, because I know I'm gonna have to deal with it. And even tapping it over my makeup trash, some of it landed outside of the bag, and it's still on my chair over there, which is not a big deal. But it's just, even just tapping it a little bit, it's very, very, very powdery. And so I'm gonna keep using this. Is very monochromatic. Like this shade, that center shade, really blended into this shade right here. Sorry for poking you on the face with the brush. So I'm not sure about how monochromatic it is in this shade. And I did tap the tip in again, and look at this. Like it's a lot. So I'm going to tap it into my makeup trash again more carefully than the first time, so it doesn't go outside of the bag. But it's just very powdery. And so I'm just kind of cleaning up in the palette. But this is very pink. Like the whole thing is just pink. So this center shade, which is really nice, it did blend into this first shade, and it blended into this shade. This looks like just a one shadow look, which if that's what you like, then you know it's here for you. So we're going to that second shade, which was Not Sorry. We're also going to put that on the outer lower lash line down here, and I am just kind of tapping a little bit. This one isn't flaky like this one was, but it's still a shimmer. So it looks like it has some chunks in it, but it's not chunky. I know that probably doesn't make sense. And we're gonna pull this up here. My neighbor, she agreed to let me do her face next week, and she doesn't wear makeup at all, and so I'm going to use stuff from the kit. That center shade, and I don't like how it all just looks like one color. Whew, okay, so back to this eye. So now we're going to take, this is Hive right here. This is Hive, and now we're going to take Queen of the Hive. So excuse me for the glare. That shade here, and that's going to go on the outer half of the lid. So I'm really not sure. Because I had it in my mind this was not going to be a monochromatic palette, and it really is. And I don't really care for monochromatic palettes, but I can say this though: if I want a purple or a pink, I know where to go to get one. You know what I mean? And so, and I like the formula, except that powdery shade, and this one is powdery like that too. So I know when I use it, I'm gonna just have to be careful. And I do have some fallout from this shade as well. Yes, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I'm glad to have experienced it. And it was like the only 9 pan I didn't have from the brand. And so we're going to feather this outward. And so, I mean, the looks are pretty, but it is very, very, very monochromatic. And I know that's what I'm not going to like about the Pride looks, because they are going to be monochromatic. So both of these looks are done. 3 shades each eye. It is just all one thing. We're going back that same brush with this shade. Excuse me for smacking. And we're just going to put some up here, because looking where you are, it looks like there's nothing here, but it is. And actually, we're going to go back to the brush that had that first shade on it, which was Hive, in that upper left corner. And we're going to pull that over a little bit more. And so there's a sheerness to it where it's there, but certain angles it looks like it's not there. This is just a straight pink eye. So I'm just like, I don't know if I like that. So we're going to do the liner, we're going to do a lip, and we're going to come back, and then the look will be done. This is the look that we have. When I told y'all I'd be stripping stuff, when I went to open this, the black part came off, but not the inner part. And so, yeah, but I was able to work it out. So I say this every time, and even now, like, it's turning. This is what happened, because I turn stuff so tight that I strip it and then it cracks. And so then I had to lift it this way and then put the cap back on. But I always say when I wear this, Sleepy, this is Notoriously Morbid. I'm liking your style. This was free gift with purchase. I say this every time I wear this. Sometimes it looks patchy, and it's not, it's the multi-chrome. So you have the green, the burgundy-ish, the brown, so it just looks that way. So we did put on Radiant Light under the eye, and it did camouflage the fallout, so this is amazing. I love this. And upper lash line we used from Lethal Cosmetics Phase, which is this shade. It did not show up over this, and so then I went with green from Inglot. Closing this one up, and I'm going to show you the green one. I do be closing stuff tight. This is number 86. And so I put that on top of the Phase, and I put it over here. The wings are different, but because the eye looks are different, yeah, we're going to say it works. So my first impressions about this palette, since we've now ran through all 9 shades, that's not a lot compared to what we need to do with the Matte Pride palette, but I love the looks. I like this one more because it's deeper. This is a brighter pink look than I'm used to, and how both the lid shades blended in, and how that center shade blended in with both the lid shades. It looks like it's just one color over my entire lid. Excuse me. And if that's your thing, this is for you. This side you can see gradients in color, and I do like that. And we did not put a shadow for brow bone, which is fine because I don't always do that. And also both of these are shimmer shades. I know some people have to have a matte. I don't have to have a matte. I don't mind doing all shimmer shades, all shimmer looks. I don't mind doing all matte looks. But, and I already said it, this is a purple palette. It's a purple pink palette, and so I'm not sure how I feel about that. But if I do want a pink or a purple and I want this formula, I know exactly where to go to get it. I don't like how powdery this one is. I don't like how powdery this one is. And so those are deterrents, because then I have to clean up afterwards, because it's going to fall out. Not fall out, but it's going to puff up in the pan. I have an itch like right here. But my first impressions are it's good, and they are hand pressed. And so if you get this and this may not be as powdery as mine are. And it tells you on the website, you know, our shadows are hand pressed, so that there may be imperfections, which is not an imperfection, it's just how it is because it's hand pressed. And so it's hard to get everything exactly the same, versus in a factory, everything presses the same. But I do like how the shimmers perform, these three and these three. They performed really nice. I really like this one because that was a deep shade. I do like how this shows up, but it just blends right in. And this one showed up nice. But so it's just, I just need to get a grip on how I really feel about this just being just a purple palette, because Bog Witch looks like it's a green palette, and it's not. And even one of the Spellcast Beauty palettes, I think it might have been Jade Dreams, that was not a green palette. And the one that was Violet Thoughts or whatever it was, that was not a purple palette. And so that surprised me, and just how this is surprising me that it is monochromatic, where those look monochromatic and they weren't. And so if I want pink or purple, I know where to go. And the color, the sticker here represents what's inside. So you have that light white shade, you have the lighter pinks, the darker pinks, you have your purples. And so it is very my neck just cracked again. That's been happening a lot lately. So the cover does represent what's on the inside. I just need to figure out like how I feel about it. And I'm wondering now, like, how often will I pick this up to use it? You know what I'm saying? But if I want to do this, I know where to go. I will not want to do this again because I don't want just an all pink look. But if I well, no, because I don't use my makeup on other people. But if it's a friend, I would. So if they say, oh, I want a pink look, okay, here you go. But I do think both the looks are pretty. I'm glad we used the green eyeliner. I'm glad we did the multi-chrome lip just to break things up a little bit. And so that's going to be it for this video, y'all. Thank you for being here. And hang tight for, damn, my neck hurts. Hang tight for the Pride looks. It might be 2 or 3 different videos. Again, we're going to do one eye, you know, look 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we did one look already. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we only have 6 looks to where I wrote it out. But so we're going to do that. And I don't think I'll be able to get it all in one video. So it may be at least 2, maybe 3. But we're going to run through the MAC palette next. And there's other exciting stuff coming up. So stay tuned, subscribe if you're not already. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.